In this lesson, we will have a simple introduction to PySide6, and also we will learn that how you can install PySide6, and also we will create our first GUI window using PySide. Now, before that, let's talk about Qt or Qt. Now, for the PySide6, also we can call it Qt for Python. Now, Qt is used for developing graphical user interface, or we can say GUIs and multi-platform applications that run on all major desktop platforms and most mobile or embedded platforms. Most GUI programs created with Qt have native looking interface, in which case Qt is classified as a widget toolkit. Non-GUI programs can also be developed, such as command line tools and consoles for servers. Now, there are different applications that they're using Qt. For example, we can say OBS. It's a cross-platform screencast software. OBS is using Qt. Telegram desktop is using Qt. VLC media player. We have Wireshark. A packet analyzer is created by Qt. Adobe Photoshop album is using Qt. CryEngine V. It's a game engine. It's also using Qt. Also TeamViewer, computer software package for remote control, desktop sharing, online meetings, web conferencing, and file transfer between computers. It's also using Qt. Now, there are a lot of softwares and applications that they are using Qt. I have just mentioned some of them. So now let's talk about what's PySide or PySide6. Now, for the PySide6, also we can call it Qt for Python. Now, Qt for Python or PySide6 is the official Python module from the Qt for Python project, which provides access to the complete Qt6+ framework. The Qt for Python project is developed and open, with all facilities you would expect from any modern OSS project, such as all code in a Git repository and an open design process. Also, if you're using Qt5, then PySide2 is compatible with Qt5, and also we have PySide2 itself that's compatible with Qt4. Now, let's create our first window. So now, before creating our first GUI window using PySide6, now you can see that this is the official website, the official documentation for Qt for Python and Qt.io. So you can see Qt for Python, and you can just use pip install PySide6. So you can see that this is a design GUI with Python bindings for Qt, and Qt for Python is the project that provides the official set of Python bindings or PySide6 that will supercharge your Python applications. While the Qt APIs are world renowned, there are some reasons why you should consider Qt for Python. Now, the first one is the power and simplicity for Python developers. Diving into the world of Qt applications is easy, whether you are a programming novice or an expert Python wranglers. Now, alongside with PySide6, we have another library that's called PyQt or PyQt6 or PyQt5. Okay, now that's not the official release for the Qt company. That's created by another company that's called Riverbank Computing, and now Qt for Python is the official release for Qt, because they have in their website, you can see that they have a good documentation. You can see dive into the Qt world, also documentation examples. Developing with Qt is fun, fast, and flexible. Get started in no time. It has 1 million plus software developers left Qt. Join our community, and they have a complete documentation and more freedom to Python developers. Creating UIs should be fast, fun, and easy. So now the first thing is that how we can install this and how we can create our first project. Now, in here we are going to talk about the IDs. Now, if you see the Qt for Python documentation, which IDs are compatible to use for Qt for Python? Now, Qt for Python, as any other Python module, can be used in any Python compatible IDE, but not all of them will provide extra functionality like Qt Creator does. Okay. Now, besides writing files, these are some external steps you might want to perform in order to help the development of your applications. Okay, so if you're using a terminal. Now, if you're using Qt Creator, so I will talk about this, that how you can create your first PySide or Python application using the Qt Creator. Now, it is now for that you need to download that. But so also it's telling that you can use Visual Studio Code, or also you can use PyCharm ID, as I'm showing that how you can use Qt Creator and also how you can use PyCharm ID. Okay, now the first thing is that we need to install the PySide. Okay, now if you're using Qt Creator, you don't need to install because that is inside the Qt Creator. But if you're using another ID like PyCharm or Visual Studio Code or like this, then you need to install that. This is using pip, as I've already said that you can just use pip install PySide6. I can just copy this, and I already have opened my PyCharm ID. I'm using PyCharm ID, and I already have created a project with virtual environment. So you can just click on File, new project, and from here you need to give the project name. After that, and here you need to choose that we are going to create a new virtual environment, and this is the Python version. I'm using Python 3.9. and also if you don't want to create any virtual environment, you can just directly create that, but we want to create that, and you can just choose this and you can just click on create. The project will be created. Okay, now we are going to open our terminal. So this is the PyCharm ID interface, and you can see at the bottom we have to do, problems, Python packages. Now we are interested in the terminal. We can click on the terminal, and in here I can just paste. So pip install PySide6. Okay, after that hit enter. Now it will take a little bit, and we need to just wait for the installation of the PySide6. Alright guys, now the PySide has been installed completely, and this is the installation process. So now we have our PySide. After that, let's create our first GUI window. Okay, so now we have our installation. Now I'm going to create a new directory, and I'm going to just say first section. So this will be our first section, and in the first section I want to just create a Python file, and I'm going to just call it, for example, first window, or whatever you want, you can just call it. So first window, okay, .py. So now we have this. So the first thing is that we have installed our PySide. Now in PySide, everything is separated in modules. Now we have modules, and modules are divided into different classes. For example, we have Qt GUI module, we have Qt widgets module, and but they are divided into different classes. For example, in Qt widgets we have QIcon, and Qt in PySide in PySide6.qtGUI, for example, we have QIcon, and in Qt widgets, for example, we have QApplication, QWidget. Okay, so for example, in here I want to just say from PySide, okay, dot Qt widgets. Now this is the module Qt widgets. We are going to import QApplication and also QWidget. Okay, so now let me talk about this. So this is our library, and after that we have Qt widgets module. Now what is the Qt widgets module? The Qt widgets module contains classes that provide a set of UI elements to create classic desktop style user interfaces. There are about 138 classes that are related to Qt widgets module. After that, we are importing QApplication. Now the QApplication class manages the GUI application's control flow and main settings. QApplication specializes QGUI application with some functionality needed for QWidget based applications. For any GUI application using Qt, there is precisely one application object, no matter whether the application has 0, 1, 2 or more windows at any given time. Okay, and after that we have QWidget. Okay, now right now I'm not going to talk about this more, but we will talk about this in the next lesson. But the QWidget class is related to Qt widgets module, and it is used for creating of our window. There are three types of window classes that you can use in PySide. So we have QWidget, QMainWindow, and QDialog. So for right now, as I've already said, that I'm not going to talk more about these three types of window classes, but it's one of the window classes that we can use. Okay, so now we have talked about these imports. After that, what we want to just create, first we want to create our QApplication, so we can just say QApplication. Okay, now in here what we need, so if you're using a command prompt or command line utility, then you can use you can pass sys.argv in here. So sys.argv, okay, in this section in the QApplication. But if you don't want to use, you can just give it an empty list as a parameter. So right now let me just use the sys.argv, and I will show you that line. So now we have our Qt application, and after that we need to create the this Qt widget, because this is one of the window type classes. So in here I can just say window. After that we are going to use Qt widget. Okay, and now right now we cannot show the window. So right now if I run this, you will see that I'm not seeing the window. And now in here we need to just show the window. So I can just say window dot show. Now we can use the show method for showing the window. Also, if I run this right now, if I just run this, you will see that we have the window, but you can see the window is open and that's closed. Okay, now after creating of the Qt widget and after showing the window, after that we enter the main loop of the application. Okay, so in here we can just say, so this is the main loop of the application, sys dot exit, and after that I can just say app dot execute. Okay, so now the event handling starts from this point, and the main loop receives events from the Windows system and dispatches them to the application widgets. The main loop ends if we call this exit method, or the main widget is destroyed. The sys.exit method ensures a clean exit, and also you can see that in here we have app.execute. Now also if I use it, so right now if I run this, now let me just show you. If I run this, you can see that we have our first GUI window, and we can just maximize this, and we can minimize this, and we can close this, and you can see that how easily we have created our first window. Okay, also in here we need to import sys. That's imported automatically, but because we are using sys, then you need to import sys. Also, if you use this like this, and if I run this, so it's also working, but in here this is deprecated. Okay, now you can see we have deprecation warning will be removed in the future, use execute instance. Okay, now if you're using PySide2, then you need to use it like this. Okay, now this is a valid syntax in PySide2 and it's working, but if you're using PySide6, then that is deprecated, and instead you need to just use it execute. Okay, as we have used it like this, you can use it like this. Okay, so now if I run it again, so we have our first window. Okay, right now just it's a basic window. So I have said that there are two ways that there are two IDs, or there are different IDs, but I will show you the two of them. Okay, so this was the first one, the PyCharm ID. We have installed the PySide6, and after that we have created our first GUI window. Now another way is that is also recommended, that you can use this, but for that you need to install Qt. Okay, now the Qt, it is a cross-platform GUI framework for building user interfaces with Qt and C++. Also you can use this with the Python or PySide6. Okay, now if you're interested in a complete course on Qt6 and also C++, building mobile and GUI applications, I have a complete course on Udemy. You can just check that. You can build GUI applications and also mobile or Android applications using Qt and also C++. Okay, so if you're using the Qt creator as it's mentioned in the documentation of Qt for Python, then for that you need to install this Qt cross-platform software. Okay, so you can just open qt.io, and from here you can, in the community, you can just click on downloads, and from downloads you can see that there are different versions. You can buy Qt, or you can try Qt or Qt, or you can just download the open source. So you can just click on go to open source, and this page will be opened, and in here you need to download the Qt online installer, and you can just install that. After installation you can open the Qt, and now you can see I'm using the latest version of Qt, that's Qt 6.3, and we are going to create a new project. So now you can see in here, now this is related to the C++. So if you're building Android and desktop application using C++, then you can choose this. So widget application, console application, or Qt quick application. Now you can see that Qt for Python, this is for PySide. So you can just create a simple Qt for Python. You can just create a window, you can create a UI file, or you can create a Qt quick application. Also, we will create some projects using this also, but now Now this was the way that you can use this one, or also you can use this. Now this is good because you will have a designer. Also in here you can use designer, but this is a complete software platform. You can use this or you can use this. Maybe we will use PyCharm ID, and also for some projects we will use this. Okay, so but I will show you both of them, that how you can use that. Okay, now it's your choice. You can use that or you can use this. Okay, so now for example we can just use Qt for Python window. We want to just create, choose, and let me just give it first window, and here I need to just create a new folder, and I can just say PySide6 and select folder, and let me just say okay, let me just call it first window. And after that we can just click on next. Now from here you need to choose the version. We are using PySide6, and also you can see that there are three different types. Two types. We are using QWidget for this, and for the source file it will create a widget.py file. Let's click on next and finish. So now you can see that we had some importing from PySide6 the Qt widgets. Now as we have done in here, you can see that it's automatically imported, import sys, and the Q application, Q widget, and it's using a class. We will create our this window also, but for right now we have our this window, and we have our class widget that extends from the Q widget, and we have our application. Now you can see that in here, as I've already said, that you can leave it empty. There is no problem. For example, if I leave it like this, and it will work, and it is, as I've already said, that it's used for command line utility, and we have our first window. Okay. So now in the Qt creator, we have our first window and widget.py. Now from here we can run over this. Okay, let me, so you can see window widget, window.show. Now let me run it. So now you can see that we have this. Also, it's giving a warning that we need to just change this to execute. It will be deprecated. And now if I run this, so we have our first GUI window.